The Democrats are absolutely hysterical over losing the Supreme Court seat to Amy Coney Barrett as more and more realize that President Trump is indeed poised to win re-election. In this video, we're going to take a look at just a sample of the latest hysterics that are coming out of the collective meltdown by the Democrats over the whole nomination of Amy Barrett, how their own identity politics have hampered the far left, stopping her confirmation, and how many leftists are only now realizing that a 6-vote conservative majority all but guarantees President Trump's re-election. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Patriots all across the globe. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, a very warm welcome to all of our first-time viewers. We post 2 videos a day analyzing current events, analyze some super awesome conservative trends so we can all live in the present in light of even better things to come. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. It'll be an absolute privilege to have you all as a regular part of this channel where each and every day we together celebrate the inevitable collapse of left-wing globalism and the unstoppable rise of a new conservative age and new conservative Supreme Court, right? Now, before we do anything else, make sure to click on that link below and go over to my special website at My Patriot Food Supply. With this whole insane pandemic nonsense, we can't wait for an emergency to happen before we prepare for one. And no one makes preparing for an emergency more ridiculously easy than My Patriot Food Supply. Gang, they're simply the best, and their food kits last up to 25 years in storage. They include breakfast, lunches, and dinners. And best of all, they got a guarantee policy. It's going to absolutely knock your socks off. And if you act now, you're going to save, get this, $100 off a full 4-week emergency food supply when you click on that link below right now to my special website. You heard that right, 100 smackers off, so don't wait. I got my food supply. Make sure you get yours. Click on that link below or go to preparewithsteve.com. Save $100 off your very own 4-week emergency food supply. Today, all right, gang, let's dive right in here. Oh, man, this is juicy. It's yummy. The left is suffering a collective meltdown over the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett for the United States Supreme Court. I mean, there's just no other way of putting it. They've gone hysterical. They've embraced hysterics, and those hysterics are indicative of the fact that they know they have already lost this. This is at least the point in the whole process. I mean, it's a done deal. And there appears to be a number of Democrats who are admitting that there's nothing they can do to stop this. They are admitting that there is literally nothing they can do to stop President Trump from seating his third appointee to the Supreme Court. And so they're just seething. And the rhetoric coming from the paragons of tolerance and anti-bigotry, it couldn't be more hysterical. Now, the latest example of unhinged vitriol comes from a Boston University professor. I want that to hit you. This is coming from a supposed academic, a so-called professor from one of our supposedly finest institutions of higher learning. Ibram X. Kendi, the director of the Center for Anti-Racist Research at Boston University, rallied against Amy Barrett's adoption of 2 Haitian children, 2 black children from Haiti. And apparently a white conservative woman or a white conservative family adopting black children is now a form of white colonization, according to this Boston University professor. Here's what he tweeted out. And again, keep in mind, this is what passes as learned commentary among our academic elite. Quote, some white colonizers adopted black children. They civilized these savage children in the superior ways. Look at all those quotes. I mean, so hilarious. So these white colonizers civilize these savage children in the superior ways of white people while using them as props in their lifelong pictures of denial, while cutting the biological parents of these children out of the picture of humanity. Now, what makes this tweet all the more pernicious is that it's coming from someone who holds the title. I kid you not. It's tweeted out by the director of the Center for Anti-Racist Research. This is coming from a supposed leader of anti-racism. It's nothing short of a parody of repulsiveness. It is so utterly Orwellian. And then he followed up. He didn't stop. Oh no, listen. He tweeted out, and whether this is Barrett or not is not the point. Of course not. What would Amy Barrett have to do with this? It's just a coincidence I'm tweeting this out right after she got nominated, right? Whether this is Barrett or not is not the point. It's a belief too many white people have if they have or adopt a child of color They can't be racist. I mean, this is absolutely unbelievable. The level of utter contempt and hatred and racial animosity just being spewed from this so-called professor speaks for itself. And fortunately, a number of people have come out and denounced this blatantly racist rhetoric. Leo Terrel, God bless him, a former Democrat who has renounced his party and is all in for President Trump. He asked incredulously how the left-wing media and white liberals could sanction such blatantly racist comments coming from this professor. And the Daily Mail is reporting on numerous calls for this so-called professor to be fired from Boston University. Those of you who attend or are thinking of attending BU may want to think again if the university is sanctioning racist rhetoric like this. But alas, as I'm sure you've guessed, this hack prof ain't alone in all this. Check this one out from the ultra-leftist feminist Christine Grimaldi. Quote, "This whole press conference is a display of Amy Coney Barrett weaponizing her white womanhood to grab whatever power managed to slip through the cracks in the Trump administration's unrelenting misogyny." Yes, gang, according to liberal la-la land logic, the nomination of a woman to the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, is now evidence of unrelenting misogyny. And what would liberal la-la land logic be without Al Sharpton's contribution? Yes, the revered Al Sharpton came out to remind us that he still exists, and he had this to say: Trump's announcement of Amy Barrett as his nominee, quote, "was the least diverse audience I've ever seen in a round announcement like this. I looked around. I was glad her two kids did come out. I couldn't find too many other people of color in that audience." And then, of course, we had the profound insights offered by HBO's Bill Maher. Now, what would a major national announcement be without the first-class analysis of the intellect like Bill Maher? During one of his opening monologues, he astutely told his audience that Amy Barrett is, quote, "an effing nut." Religion, I was right about that one too. I'm sorry, but Amy Coney Barrett, Catholic. Really? Catholic. I mean, really, really Catholic, like speaking in tongues, like she doesn't believe in condoms, which is what she has in common with Trump, because he doesn't either. I remember that from Stormy Daniels. Well, thank you, Bill. What a testimony you are to civic virtue. Right? Yeah, but Trump! Actually, Maher is right at one level. He certainly recognizes precisely what we've recognized since the night Ginsburg's death was announced, that Amy Coney Barrett all but guarantees Trump's re-election. But first, I want to make sure you know that we've got a great gift for you. It's called our Fake News Antidote. It is a compilation of about 20 sites that I go to for my news each and every single day, and you can download it completely free at the link down below in the pinned comment section. I think you're really going to absolutely love these sites. They're amazing resources. I mean, if you're looking for alternative news sources that celebrate rather than denigrate the rise of a new conservative age all over the world, these are a list of your go-to sites that you will definitely enjoy, and it's yours absolutely free by clicking on that link below. It is my gift to you. All right, so yes, a broken clock can be right twice. With Bill Maher, he recognizes we did that when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, so did the chances of Democrats to cheat on this election. And so when Nancy Pelosi said that the Democrats had lots of arrows in their quivers to try to stop Amy Barrett's nomination, it was just so funny. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, she literally has nothing to do with this. As Speaker of the House, she has nothing to do with nominating, vetting, or confirming a Supreme Court justice. But nevertheless, she comes out there and mentions, we have lots of arrows in our quiver. Maher went out to say, quote, "Great, now Democrats are bringing arrows to a gunfight. But I don't think we have any arrows in our quiver. I think our quiver is bare. They have the power, and they're going to use it to make the court with 6 conservatives, and when 2020 election winds up in the lap of that court, as they're practically already promising that they will, guess who wins? We can't stop them from getting the court seat, which means we can't stop them from picking the election winner." Truer words have never been said. Maher's assessment here is absolutely correct. He gets, when he gets his brain out of the gutter, he has some pretty good analysis. More astute observers are recognizing that with the successful seating of the 5th conservative justice, and with John Roberts as Chief Justice most likely joining that conservative majority, there is no way the Democrats are going to be able to steal this election with their mail-in fraud. It's going to go to court. The mail-in ballots are going ultimately to the Supreme Court. And when they do arrive, lo and behold, a 6-vote conservative majority will decide the outcome. So Maher recognizes that really there's no way a 6-vote conservative majority is going to pick Biden as the election winner. I mean, it's just not going to happen. And so I think there's either an explicit sense or at least an intuitive sense among leftist liberals that their entire worldview is crashing in all around them. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't stop it. And in the end, they have only themselves to blame. I mean, think about this. I mean, what are they, left-wing liberals, the champions of feminism and identity politics, what are they going to do to stop a woman from becoming the next Supreme Court justice? What are they going to possibly do to stop a woman? Anything they do will be perceived as horrifically misogynist and hateful and insensitive. And here's the key, based on the terms that they set, based on the terms leftist liberals established. You're not allowed to attack women without being misogynist, right? You're not allowed to attack women or stop women from occupying some of the highest positions in the nation without appearing to be incurably sexist and misogynist. So what is the left possibly going to be able to do here? And the answer is absolutely nothing. And they're starting to recognize this big time. So what do? Well, they're going after her kids, which even other leftists think is beyond the pale. Or then, like Bill Maher, they'll start attacking her Catholic faith. But again, as even liberal commentators are admitting, that's only going to guarantee President Trump's reelection. They're slowly realizing that they've got nothing to stop the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett. And if they got nothing to stop her confirmation, they're slowly realizing they've got nothing to stop President Trump from successfully winning re-election. It's certainly a rough week if you're a Democrat. Now, before you go, make sure to like this video, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel. And you will definitely want to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how CNN's Don Lemon has once again embarrassed himself before the entire nation. You are not going to want to miss that. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.